Rich here from It Ain't Easy Being Rich. That's me. This is my first video and my first geocache. And today's goal is to go out and find some geocaches, kind of like I would do on Route 66. So, but there's a couple other extra factors here I'll talk about later. But winter in Minnesota is a big factor. When I go down Route 66 in September, it's going to be about 50 degrees winter, or warmer. So, but as you can tell, it is winter in Minnesota. You can see the fishermen out in the background here. So, plan is, I'm using Highway 61 as sort of a test to see about how long or how much geocaches or how many geocaches I can get, and there's a truck, that I can get that are in a day. Now, I went on geocaching.com and I mapped out all the geocaches along Route 66. And what I did was I found out there's about over 400 between Chicago and St. Louis. So I really need to figure out, do I need to trim some of those down, pick and choose which one I want to do and all that stuff. So I'm doing kind of a test run today by myself and to see how it goes. So I'm at the very first one on Highway 61. I'm starting pretty much north of 694 in White Bear Lake. So like I said, here I am on White Bear Lake. As you can see, there's a bunch of fisher people already on the lake doing their thing. So, all right, so I'm gonna go find the first geocache for 61. I'm gonna do a couple milestones. I'm not gonna do every single cache I find, but let's check it out, see how it goes. All right, this one's called Sailboat View. It's in White Bear Lake, and hang on a second here. And there's a truck idling, dropping off stuff, so forgive the noise. So let's see if I can find this. And one thing I have to let you know is I do suck at geocaching. So hopefully I can walk here. Whoa! Some rocks under some snow. I'll just jump to the pier. Here we go. All right. So here's pretty much like a shelter. I don't know if you can see it. So, but yeah, so there's pretty much a shelter right there. So I'm gonna do a little exploring, see if I can find this. Found it, finally, after who knows how many minutes. So I'm going to sign the log, put it back real quick. This is the first one on Highway 61, and we'll just kind of take it from there. Alright, probably see you around geocache around 10, maybe. Hey, I know you've been waiting with anticipation like crazy, wondering how it's going. Well, it's 2.5 hours later, and I'm trying to find my 10th cache milestone on this little trip, and doing pretty good. So far, I found 9, going for 10, hide number 10, or find number 10. But there was 3 along the way I couldn't find. One was in a patch of woods, and it was just taking too long to find. If I'm doing this trip to Route 66, I can only allow myself so much time to try to find something, unless it's something special like a special Route 66 cache or a special multi-cache for Route 66. So, but since we're on Highway 61, I'm not going to spend that much time. I want to see how far I can get in one day. So I'm giving myself 10, 15 minutes tops if I'm having a hard time finding something. Otherwise, everything's going pretty good. It's 12:30, and I'm going to go to one at the Hugo City Hall. So if I'm kind of going around with a camera might be a little suspicious, so I'm kind of doing it in my car first. So, but I'll keep you updated on my next milestone, which will be either my 20th find or 25th find, depending on how the time's going. All right. In the meantime, stay out of trouble. All right, Rich here, back on the trail. I'm hitting my 20th cache. Now, some of you may be watching is like, what the heck is this geocaching stuff? Well, it's a game, hobby, some even do it for sport, where people go hide containers called caches. And they take their coordinates with the GPS, go on the website called geocaching.com, and sort of what they do is called publish it. People like me go out and look for them. So, doing pretty well. It's been about 4 hours since I started the Highway 61 deal, and I'm part of what I've found so far is there's sort of a power trail, and a power trail means there's a lot of caches in a short amount of space, usually on a trail or a road or something very similar. And so this power trail is a hardwood, I believe it's hardwood trail, which starts in Hugo and goes north. Well, south if you're coming from that way. But the trail right now is sometimes being, during the winter here, you see a lot of snowmobiles. And it's best if you're on the trail. But luckily at this part of the trail, there's a little dirt road sort of west of the trail. So some of the caches I've been able to get right off the road. And it's about every 10th mile. That's the closest that you can place a cache to another one. So about every 10th mile, I'm stopping and getting out and trying to find one of these caches. And I'm on my 20th one of the day. And a lot of them from Gray Wolf and Gary and Company. So thank you guys for placing these out here. So you're gonna go with me on this one. One nice thing about winter caching is that the water, if there's any standing water in ditches or whatever, you can should be frozen, so it should be easy to walk on. There was one cache, basketball wasn't the title of it, I couldn't get to because there was quite a ditch between the road and the cache, and it was littered with not littered, but had a lot of water that wasn't frozen. It was slush, and my boots are only waterproof from so far up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to find this cache. It's somewhere in this tree. So, like I said, a lot of these trails have been done by Gary and Company and Gray Wolf and Wild Rice. So, hope I got those names right. Forgive me if I didn't. Now if I could just find my trail back. All right, hang on. How did I get here? Right over here. Okay. So, that's number 20. And been 4 hours into it. Now, even though this is my 20th find, I did find 6 places. Either I couldn't find it, or it wasn't the right environment for it to go for it. Like I said, one was on some spots on the trail here. The hill to the trail was too steep with the snow and the ice. Didn't want to risk it. So total in the 4 hours, I've been to 26 places. So. Which isn't too bad. What about 6 an hour? So what does that mean when it comes to doing Route 66. Well, if I'm just doing Route 66 and looking for and getting about 6 an hour, and there's 400 caches between Chicago and St. Louis, it's time to sit down at the computer and do some major weeding out of caches. So far so good, but it's gonna let you go, and I'm gonna try to find some more. See you at 30. Well, it is cache number 30, and it is 4:30. So 6.5 hours after I started. This is my 30th find, and there's 9 that I didn't find. So 49 in 6.5 hours is pretty good. So, what does that mean for geocaching? I don't know. For Route 66, I don't know. But I'm on my way to try to find this one. It's the last one of the day I'm going to do. I'm going to get some supper and head home. So, but I'm going to come join me in the woods here as I kind of go through and try to find this last one. I'm in the southern part of Wyoming, Minnesota, on Highway 61. So what I'm going to do when I head back, I'm not going to head on the main Highway 35. I'm going to take 61 and see how many miles I actually went between where I'm at now and when 694 joins 61, and see how many miles I actually took out of the trip. So, still kind of looking for this cache in the woods. Ooh. I found it. I found it. All right, so that's cache number 30. Aren't you impressed? So, getting out of here is another thing. The Blair Witch Project. Not really. It ain't easy being me and going through the woods. I'm kind of a big guy, 300 pounds, and like in my previous blogs, I want to lose that weight. So, so I can have a skinner little second chin. So I'm gonna come back when I get home, figure out mileage, time, average, and see how I'm gonna handle Route 66. So yeah, so I'll see you soon.